guys, it's Michelle, and today's video is going to be another pop culture conspiracy theories. Y'all know I love pop culture. It's literally like my favorite thing. Before we get into it, I just wanted to mention that I've started a weight loss channel, and I'm gonna link it down below if you want to subscribe. I haven't like posted anything yet, but I'm in the process of like moving, so I have a few, you know, things that I need to take care of first. But definitely if you guys want to subscribe to it, I'm gonna be posting videos about how I've lost weight, how I start and like my weight loss journey from now forward, and show you guys what I eat in a days and recipes and anything like that. So definitely go subscribe to that channel if you guys are interested in that kind of thing. But let's get into the pop culture conspiracy theories. All right, the first ones we're gonna be talking about is Taylor Swift. Okay, guys. I think Red might be my fave, like Taylor Swift era. It's hard because I also love Speak Now in 1989. Taylor's releasing a 10-minute version of All Too Well, and she's going to be doing a little short film starring Sadie Sink and Dylan O'Brien. And I feel like a lot of people's first thoughts were like, that's kind of like a weird casting because there's so much like of an age gap between the two. Like, it's just kind of random. And basically people think that it's meant to signify Taylor's relationship with Jake Gyllenhaal. Do you think it was on purpose? I just feel like Taylor does not do anything not on purpose, like, you know. Okay, update. Also my hair looks kind of ginger and I don't know why. Okay, so obviously Taylor has released the album and also the short film. So I was on TikTok last night just scrolling away, and I saw this like really interesting theory, so I'm gonna put it here.
This is Exhibit A, I guess. Exhibit B is that this is the most iconic on-screen kiss of all time between Tobey Maguire and Kirsten Dunst, who was dating Jake Gyllenhaal at the time this movie was released, and was still dating Jake Gyllenhaal when the sequel came out, in which her character tries to recreate the upside-down kiss with a different love interest, trying to see if she can like recapture the magic of that first relationship. Now she's trying to move on from it, and she just kind of can't. She steps back from this and she's pretty disappointed. But his character, who, you know, wasn't there for the first kiss, is like really blown away by it. This is the relationship that Jake Gyllenhaal was in when it would have actually been age appropriate for him to have been dating a 21-year-old. Kirsten Dunst was actually 21 when they started dating, and he was 22. And again, like, these two had a house together. They bought a dog. Anyway, back to Taylor Swift directing actors playing a version of herself and a version of Jake Gyllenhaal to recreate the kiss. There is one major difference between the way this kiss is staged and the way the upside down kisses in Spider-Man are staged, and that is that in Spider-Man, the female character initiates both of those kisses, and here the male character initiates it. In the short film, this shot plays over the line "back before you lost the one real thing you'd ever known." To Taylor as the writer, and I think the character, it's very clear that this is the one real thing either of them had ever known. But to Taylor, the director, putting the shot over this line, looking back on those lyrics now, I think this might be one of her ways of acknowledging that this was never as real to him, and in fact, he might have even been trying to recreate the type of relationship he'd had when he was her age.
I like actually think that that's 100% like so accurate. Like I said, Taylor like doesn't just like post things, doesn't just do things that don't like aren't on purpose, if that makes sense. So also it was like very obvious in the 10-minute version that the reason that she did cast Sadie Sink and Dylan O'Brien with an age gap is definitely because it's reflecting her relationship with Jake Gyllenhaal. So, but I think that the Kirsten Dunst thing is like super interesting as well. I don't know. I just like it just makes so much sense. Like, it's definitely what happened, and it's definitely like I just feel like she wouldn't do that Spider-Man kiss without like there has to be a reason for that. And I saw another theory that it was like there's like a rumor that Jake Gyllenhaal and like Tom Holland were like dating or something. I don't think that's accurate as to why Taylor would do that, but I just do think that makes a lot of freaking sense. Because like, why else would she put the Spider-Man kiss? Because it is such like an iconic movie kiss moment that it's not just like any, you know, movie kiss, right? Like, what? So why are we acting like Taylor Swift does anything on accident? It's definitely, that conspiracy theory is real. Other Taylor Swift conspiracy theory I saw on TikTok, and this TikTok user was talking about how Taylor Swift made a TikTok to like the "Mama said that it was okay" sound. It's like about going from country to pop, and it was a, you know, picture of Shania Twain. So Shania Twain had an album back in the day that was had like 2 CDs in it, and one of them was like the country version of an album and one of them was the pop version. Now, I feel like most people would think that Taylor Swift's like first very pop album was 1989. And in the background of Taylor's video, there's 2 1989 posters, as well as like Taylor like announcing that she's redoing all of these albums. There is 2 1989s. And so this TikTok user believes that Taylor Swift is going to release a country version of 1989 and a pop version of 1989. And I will literally love it. Like I really hope that that's true, or like some type of like, I don't know, like beginning, you know, songs from the vault that were like more country leaning. I just think it'd be so interesting. But yeah, so what do you guys think? I feel like that would be super cool if she had like 2 versions of 1989, and I feel like it's like leaning that way. I feel like there was no other reason why 1989 would have been graffitied on that wall more than once. Like Taylor does everything for a reason. And guys, I'm just excited to know what it's gonna be. But what do you guys think? Do you guys have any other Taylor Swift conspiracy theories? Because I would love to hear them in the comments below. I think that there's some shit going on and I'm actually like really excited. Like I think that she's got a lot of stuff planned, obviously, for these album releases, and I cannot wait. Okay, the next conspiracy theory. You guys know I've talked about the Illuminati a lot, and I talked about how I don't actually think it exists in the sense that people do think it exists. Okay, like how I see it is like I don't see it as like this club of celebrities and, you know, people in the industry, like of entertainment industry. I think that if an Illuminati were to exist, it would be like way higher power people, like the freaking billionaires of the world, also like a bunch of, you know, politicians and shit. Like I just don't think it's celebrities, and here's why. Well, first of all, I want to talk about Jim Carrey. A lot of people have been talking about him lately, even though this was like from forever ago that he would do this, but he's gone on like a lot of talk shows, and he went on a talk show talking about the Illuminati, and he just obviously sounds sus, but like I just feel like that's Jim Carrey's like sense of humor, where he was like clearly joking about it, but like a lot of people think that he was covering it up as a joke and the audience wasn't actually laughing and like all of these things, and I'm just like, I don't know about that.
The secret symbol of the Illuminati, talk show hosts, people on television, people in sitcoms have been hired by the government to throw you off the track, to distract you, to make you laugh and stuff like that, make you happy and docile so you don't know what's really going on.
I don't know, like I go back and forth of what I think that means. Like I keep thinking like, okay, well, he's a comedian, he's just joking, like it's like a part of like a bit that he's doing, he's just trying to be like chaotic and make people think conspiracy theories. But like Jim Carrey, like talking about this, do you think he was like serious? Because I know a lot of people do. I feel like my opinion is probably not as popular as most people's on this. Like I just think he was definitely kidding. I was watching Kelly Clarkson show, and Ariana Grande was on it, and she was talking about how people, you know, of like her friends and for her friends' family members, like ask her all the time if the Illuminati is real, and she's always like, what are you talking about? So here's that clip.
Like, what about the devil? I was like, fun, you know? Like, what? No, sorry. Oh God, the conspiracies that are gonna come from that clip. Anyway.
You will be another member of the Illuminati. That's my favorite thing.
I love that thing too.
Every one of his things are part Illuminati. And somebody was like, yeah, they're witches. I'm like, if I'm a witch, I have the least amount of power in the world.
But that is like such a thing. Like I have like friends whose moms are like, is it true? And I'm like, what?
I just think that clip is like the most interesting and like to me like the most obvious thing, because like yes, Ariana Grande is an actress, Kelly Clarkson is not, and I just felt like the way that it's said is like so like I believe what they're saying. I believe that they're saying that like people actually ask them if the Illuminati is real, and she's like, that's ridiculous. Like I said, it's not that I don't believe that an Illuminati exists, I just think that celebrities like wouldn't ever be part of it. Okay, so the last conspiracy theory we're gonna be talking about is insane. It has to do with Mr. Tom Cruise. There is a crazy conspiracy theory and legend that Tom Cruise like has wives like picked out for him specifically, and they had to like go through like serious vetting and had to literally sign a contract to become his wife. And this is like somewhat true. So after Nicole Kidman and Tom Cruise broke up, it did happen where women were vetted by the Church of Scientology for Tom Cruise to be his wife. Like before he married Katie Holmes, which we're gonna talk about a conspiracy about that in a second, there was literally like a lineup of women that were approved by the Church of Scientology to be Tom's like next wife. And the Church of Scientology really scares me, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I think it scares a lot of people. It's like, it's dark shit. Like I actually kind of want to make an entire video on it, but I'm kind of scared. Like I feel like they're the Illuminati, you know what I mean? So like the kind of lineup thing where they were gonna have like people who were approved by the Church of Scientology be Tom Cruise's wife, it's like somewhat true, but people don't think Katie Holmes was like a part of that, or it's not proven that she was. But there's a conspiracy theory that she was, including Katie Holmes, Sofia Vergara, and Scarlett Johansson. They believe that these three women were like vetted and given the opportunity to be Tom Cruise's wife and would have had to sign a contract. And they basically think that the Church of Scientology offered these women money and also like a star like boost, like a boost in Hollywood to become famous, basically. I just think this is like super interesting theory because I kind of believe it. The conspiracy theory continues with the idea that this person like who married Tom, if she were to become pregnant with Tom's child, she would end up getting paid more money. People believe that Katie Holmes was given this deal and that she took the deal to have a child with Tom. And if you are wondering what would be in it for Tom Cruise, basically at the time a lot of people had like a very like eccentric image of Tom Cruise because of the church. It wasn't the image that the church wanted for Tom to have. They didn't want people to think he was weird. I feel like having a child just like kind of like made him more personable in a kind of way. That was like the plan. Also, there was a lot of gay rumors about Tom Cruise at the time, so those would be squashed with like his marriage to Katie Holmes. I don't know, I actually like really believe it because the Church of Scientology does very much care about image. I think that's why there are so many celebrities that are Scientologists. It's super interesting. If you guys want me to do a full video on it, I would love to. I just think it's so interesting. But that's it for today's video. If you guys liked it, please give it a big thumbs up. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think about these conspiracy theories. I would love to know. But that is it. Make sure you follow me on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram because I'm always posting really dope ass shit on there. Subscribe for new videos every week, and I will see you guys later. Bye!